Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger. This is going to be roster of free agents 2. A couple months ago, I did a video where I talked about how many free agents there were available, and I was talking about how wrestling really does need like a third and maybe even a fourth national company because there's just so much talent available. And I was going over just like the large number of wrestlers that are free agents that we know from WWE and TNA, not even counting like indie wrestlers that we don't know of. And somebody asked me to do a video where I put together a roster for a fictional promotion using only ex-WWE and ex-TNA talent to make a roster, and then put together a card that I would present to a TV network if I'm trying to get the show picked up on television. And I did that video a few months ago, and I decided to do an updated version because since I did that video, some people that were on that list have like left wrestling, retired, left companies, signed with companies. So I was thinking about it a day or so ago, and I decided I'd put together a new version. So I'm going to go through the roster of the updated version and then a new card that I would put together to present for television and talk about the matches and why. I may do this again every so often, like maybe 3, 4, 5 months down the line. I might get the idea to do this again. It's just something I did for fun. So I like feedback. Tell me what you think and what you think of the roster. There's people that I may have not put on this roster that you think would be good to have in a new promotion, and just let me know what you think of a card. Now again, the rule for this is to use nationally known free agents, only people that have been featured on WWE or TNA. Okay, so no indie wrestlers, no Ring of Honor, none of that stuff, only WWE and TNA over this one. So, first of all, I was thinking of some names for a new wrestling promotion. So I'm going to go with some that I came up with. Then I'll go through names of championships, and then I'll go through the roster. So, here's some names I thought of for a wrestling promotion. And I'm focusing on just North America. So, let's see. The first one I came up with is AWO, which stands for American Wrestling Organization. Second, WFA, Wrestling Federation of America. And then AWF, the American Wrestling Federation. Also, NAWC, the North American Wrestling Coalition, or NACW, North American Coalition of Wrestling. So those are some names I got from now. Tell me what you think of those names as possible names for a promotion. Championship. Since for the sake of this, I'm going with just North America as my focus instead of like world something. You know, like WWE has like World Wrestling Entertainment. Then TNA has a World Heavyweight Championship. They don't put world in their name, which is something positive. They can just limit it to wherever they want to. Excuse me, I had a yawn. When I was making this, I was thinking just North American wrestlers. So I got some championships here, and for this one, I'm going with North American Wrestling Coalition, or North American Coalition of Wrestling. So my championships are the main title, which is called the American Heavyweight Championship. In the last video, I talked about that was a really, really old belt that basically has been defunct for years, but I just used the name, the American Heavyweight Championship. Alright, then my secondary title, I'd have the American Television Championship. And I want two secondary titles, but I couldn't think of another name. I want something that goes with either America or like the USA or North America, but I couldn't think of something. Maybe something like, I don't know, like the only name I came up with was the Patriotic Heavyweight Championship, which I like, but I don't know, it seems kind of corny. What do you think of that name? As I'm focusing on just either like the United States or North America as my for this promotion. So what do you think about as a secondary title, the Patriotic Heavyweight Championship? I need something that says America, a name. I couldn't think of anything. I also came up with the Old Glory Championship, but I just don't think that would work. NWA has a belt called the Heritage Championship, and I was thinking about that as a name, like the American Heritage title, the American Heritage Championship. That could work as a name too. I actually like that one, but I need a name for another secondary belt. So again, I have the American Heavyweight Championship as my main title. Then the secondary title, I have the American Television Championship. Then I'm trying to think of something else. I also have the American Tag Team Championships as my tag team belts, and for my women's belt, the American Women's Championship. So let's go through. I got men's singles wrestlers, tag teams, and then the women's thing. I'm not gonna have any women's tag team division because it was difficult to find a lot of women. So as far as my singles wrestlers for men, I have 27. We got Armando Alejandro Estrada, Bam Neely, used to be with Chavo Guerrero in WWE and La Familia. I always liked that guy. I always liked that name, and I always thought he had potential, but he didn't really get to do much in WWE. Wildcat Chris Harris, Cody Deaner, always loved the Deaner, DJ Gabriel, Jethro Holiday, aka Trevor Murdoch, Jimmy Yang, Johnny Devine, Ken Doane, aka Kenny Dykstra, aka Kenny from the Spirit Squad, Kevin Fertig, aka Kevin Thorne, the vampire dude, Low-Key / Senshi / Kaval, Luke Gallows, who was with CM Punk and the Straight Society. Before that, he was Festus of Jesse and Festus. Got Mike Knox with the beard, Paul Burchill. We got Petey Williams, Rob Conway, Shad Gaspard. I add to the list. He was still with WWE the first time I did this one. Sanjay Dutt, Tom Coe. Although I think Tom Coe is still in Japan. He's wrestling in Japan right now. Yeah, can somebody find that out and let me know? After that, we got the Alpha Male, Monty Brown. I always liked Monty Brown. I used to watch him in TNA when I first started watching back in 04, and I really liked him. And, I don't know if he still wrestles or not. I remember he was at WWE for a while, and then he left because of some family issues he had, but I just haven't heard anything about it. Does anybody have an update on Monty Brown of where he is or what he's doing, or if he has any interest in wrestling again? I put Kaylin Croft on the list. I don't know why, but she always need a jobber. Okay, after that we got MVP. Probably would have to change that name. I don't know if you're still allowed to use that. I heard he's still using the name in Japan. So, Nick Dinsmore, who was Eugene, although he would not be Eugene in my promotion. I would do something to. I'd have to change his look enough so that he could not be Eugene anymore. I don't want Eugene. Ricky Ortiz, Carlito, and Bobby Lashley. So those are my 27 singles wrestlers. Some of those might get put together to make an extra tag team, because I'm gonna need another tag team or so, because I only got 7 tag teams. My 7 tag teams are the Basham Brothers, Deuce and Domino, the Highlanders, the Naturals, Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens, Rockin' Rave Infection, I would see if Rosie is still wrestling. He was with 3 Minute Warning, and he was the superhero in training with Hurricane for a while. If he's still wrestling, I'll get him and Manu together, and they could be like a new Samoan tag team. And then I have maybe a La Resistance. I think those dudes are still wrestling somewhere, so I get them. So that's only about 7 tag teams there. Okay, and then for my women's division, I got about 15 women. Got Melissa Anderson, also known as Alyssa Flash or Cheerleader Melissa. Isis the Amazon. Daphne, who recently left TNA. Jackie Moore, Jacqueline. After that, we have Jazz. She still wrestles. Nikki Rocks, aka Roxy. Yeah, ODB. Serena Deeb. Sojo Bolt, aka Josie. Taryn Terrell, Tiffany. Hamada, see if she's interested in coming back to the United States. Jillian Hall. Tracy Brooks. And Shelly Martinez. Wait a minute. I've listed somebody twice here. Hold on a second here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, oh, so I listed Jillian Hall twice. So that's 14 female wrestlers. 14 women's wrestlers. So that's my roster. So let's go through. So that's 27 men. Then plus 14, which for tag teams, plus 14 women for my women's division. So that's 14 plus 14, which is 28. 28 plus 27, that's 47 plus 8 is 15, 54. I'm not good at math. Hang on a second. 27 plus 28. 55 people on my roster. Alright, I'll go through it one more time. Armando Estrada, Bam Neely, Chris Harris, Cody Deaner, DJ Gabriel, Jethro Holiday, aka Trevor Murdoch, Jimmy Yang, Johnny Devine, Ken Doan, Kevin Thorne, Low Key, aka Caval, Luke Gallows, Mike Knox, Paul Burchill, P.D. Williams, Rob Conway, Shad Gaspar, Sanjay Dutt, Tom Cole, The Alpha Male, Monty Brown, Kevin Croft, MVP, Nick Dinsmore, Ricky Ortiz, Carlito, and Bobby Lashley. Tag teams: Basham Brothers, Deuce and Domino, The Highlanders, The Naturals, The Rockin' Raven Faction, Rosie and Manu, and La Resistance. My women: Cheerleader Melissa, Isis the Amazon, Daphne, Jackie Moore, Jazz, Nikki Rocks, ODB, Serena Deeb, Sojo Bolt, Taryn Terrell, aka Tiffany, Hamada, Jillian Hall, Tracy Brooks, and Shelly Martinez. So that's my roster of 55 people. If somebody on this list has signed a contract somewhere that I didn't know about, let me know and I'll edit the list accordingly. If there's someone you think I forgot about that you think I should have added to this list, let me know. Again, only people that have been in WWE or TNA. I'm doing this as a roster of well-known free agents. That's the rule of this. Because there's a lot of this indie wrestlers that I know of that I would put on here, but I'm not adding them just to keep with the theme. Alright, so with that being said, I would then go on to my card. Now, the point of this card would be I would film these shows and present this card of shows. Wait, no. I would do is tape a show, tape an event, a wrestling program, and present it to a TV network to try to get a TV deal for my wrestling promotion. So here's the card that I would have for that show, and I'm going to go through each match. Some of these matches are the same as from the last time I did this video. Some are a little different because of people that are no longer available. And I'm going to talk about each match and why it would be on the card and what it would add, what I would use it for. I'll tell the main event. I'll tell you at the end, but the rest of the matches are really in no particular order. Okay, so first up we got P.D. Williams versus Sanjay Dutt. This is to appeal to the people who like the flippy floppy X Division stuff. I'm not really into the flippy floppy X Division stuff, but a lot of people seem to really like that stuff. You know, your fast pace, your high flying, your acrobatics, you know, that stuff. That's what this match is for. Plus, everybody likes Canadian Destroyer. Next would be Alyssa Flash versus Hamada. The point of this match is to show the women who can actually really throw down and wrestle hard-hitting matches, you know, for people who want to see just two women who can really wrestle. Alright. Next, is Tracy Brooks versus Shelly Martinez. And as I said the last time I did this video, this is more your eye candy match. I'm not, I mean, Tracy and Shelly, they're okay in the ring, but most people would consider them more eye candy than they would female wrestlers. And that's kind of what I would do with this. This is your eye candy jiggly boos match. Like I said the last time I did this video, between Tracy Brooks and Shelly Martinez, that's all the breast you'll ever need. Rockin' Raven Faction versus the Basham Brothers, just two different tag teams. Plus with the Rockin' Raven Faction, you get a little comedy, like to add a little fun to the show. Next would be Ken Doane, aka Kenny Dykstra, versus Kaval, aka Low Key, aka Senshi. This is more just show very more athletic guys. It wouldn't be an X Division match. Just two, I would do like more technical wrestler with these two. Show off more of that athleticism. Next would be Luke Gallows versus Mike Knox. I'm going here just two big powerhouses going at it, just beating the shit out of each other. Not these are two guys that's gonna be locking up and doing, Maestro cradles and Texas Cloverleaf. These are just two dudes that's gonna beat. This gonna be big fucking slamming ham hock, smacking the hell out of each other, beating each other down, just to show like the powerhouses. So that's why I would do this match. And then my main event, I would do Bobby Lashley versus MVP. Simply because out of the people on the list, I think they're the two biggest stars on the list. They're like the two most recognizable guys. So I would make them my main event. Another possibility might be MVP versus Carlito. But I wonder who's bigger. Who's like more well known, Bobby Lashley or Carlito. Or maybe Carlito versus Bobby Lashley. That would be possible too. But I would probably go with, I think I would most like to go with MVP versus Bobby Lashley as my main event. So that is the card. Check my time here. Alright, I'm already at 17 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Tell me what you think of the roster that I put together. Tell me what you think of the card. If you would like to give a shot at this, go ahead too. The way this was set up when the person originally challenged me to it, I tell you his name, but he recently changed his YouTube name and I can't remember his new YouTube name. But the rules for this is, how this works is, create a roster of people, only using people that have been in WWE or TNA. Second part, you need to come up with a name for your promotion if needed. You don't have to use a name if you can't think of anything, but it adds if you can think of a name, and what championships you would have. Then present a card that you would submit to a TV station. Like, I'm gonna do this show with this card and present it to a TV network as an attempt to try to get a TV deal for my show. So that's how this works. Alright then, I've talked long enough. This is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.